this property is in Kent, and Bob owned this property. Bob's a taxi driver, had a bad foot, lost his, couldn't work, and he was £1,800 in arrears with GE money, who were going to repossess him. We met Bob on Wednesday, and the bailiffs were coming in on next Thursday. He was going to move in with his sister. He was already packing his boxes, but he didn't really like the idea of being thrown out by the bailiffs for £1,800. So we said, Bob, listen, why don't we pay the arrears for you, stop the repossession, allow you to stay in the property and pack your boxes, and move out under your own steam, give you a little bit of extra time, so pack your boxes, move in with your sister, gives you a chance to sell the furniture, and what we do is we babysit your property for you, we babysit your mortgage payments, and then we'll pay off GE money, so that sometime in the near future you'll just receive a little letter from the solicitor saying your name is now removed from the deeds. He was happy to do that, so we have control over the property. Again, remember we paid £1,800 for the arrears. So Mesud goes off and finds us a buyer on an instalment contract.
It took me, ladies and gentlemen, 7 hours to find a buyer. I put it on Rightmove. We have a Rightmove account where we list the property under the deposit amount. That's the power. Okay, when you go on Rightmove, everyone clicks properties in Leeds, lowest price, and our property is always number 1. You can try that, and you'll see easy house ownership, always number 1. Even I think we have a few flats in Leeds that were for sale. So because we're on top of Rightmove, like being on top of Google, every time you search for property in your area, our properties always come in. Basically, curious buyers click, quite cheap. I will click on that. And £7,000 moves you in, no mortgage required. Total purchase price, £155,000. How is that possible? Well, let's give her a call. A lady called me and she said, well, I'm living in a 2-bedroom flat in East London and I've got a couple of kids, so they're growing up and I'd like to move into a 3-bedroom house. This still sounds to me like too good to be true. Can you tell me more about it? I said, well, it is fantastic, isn't it? £7,000 moves in, no mortgage required. When would you like to see the property? She said, well, can I come this afternoon with my husband? I said, okay, well, what time would you like to be here? I said, 3 o'clock. That's Doug showing the property, 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh yeah, there. Yeah, with my shorts on.
So, this family comes into the house with little kids, and Doug opens the door. Doug, can you tell us a little bit about the story? Why did you sell this house?
The mum and dad turned up with 2 children, and they was about this big and this big, however old that is. And we were outside the house, and Bob was in the house, so he was going to help show us around, show the parents around. And I said to the youngest boy, I said, before your brother goes into the house and chooses his bedroom, run in first and get your bedroom. See which one you want. There's 3 bedrooms in there. So the little boy runs in the house, and we followed him in, and then was upstairs, and the little boy was in this smallest bedroom, and there was a bed in there. And he said, there's a bed, there's a bed. I said, yeah, would you like the bed? I said, I think if you ask Bob, he'll probably leave it behind for you. He said, do you think so? I said, go and ask him. So he goes into the other bedroom with his mum and dad, and Bob was there, and he pulls on Bob's coat, and he said, Bob, can you leave the bed behind? And Bob said, yeah, of course I can, no problem. So that actually sold the house. First people we showed round, the little boy got a bed, probably the first time he's ever been in a bed, I think. So that sold the house.
£1,000 holding deposit, transferred same afternoon, they moved in 28 days after. Bob was out, they moved in. £7,000 we took on that day. Further, £250 net cash though. Basically, they pay us £805, I think. We pay the bank, and we've got £250 net cash flow left. They look after the bills, they pay the mortgage, no voids, no maintenance. It's their house. We have exchange contracts, they're only paying us in installments. Also, if we use an average term of 5 years, if these people decided in 5 years' time, I had enough of Doug and Mesud, and I'd like to get my own mortgage. I'm ready now. I've got proof of income, and I'm ready to get a mortgage. If they decide after 60 months to go and get themselves a mortgage, The difference between how much they owe us in 5 years' time and how much we owe to the bank is £20,000. So £7,000 up front, £15,000 cash flow, £20,000 back-end profit.
How much we paid on this?
£42,000.
How much did we pay for this?
Well, nothing. Well, £1,800 just for arrears.
Have we got that back from the 7th?
Yes.
Did we move any tenants in there?
No.
And did we paint it?
We just moved
We
the
replaced
happy
the colour.
family in. They got it, they painted themselves, they even fixed the fence.
Zero cost. So, you know, when we travel around these meetings, we meet a lot of investors, and it seems to me that the biggest issue with investors is lack of cash. That a lot of investors do have cash, and luckily there are some people here this evening that do have cash to invest and are hungry for investing. But most investors are looking for those people who have the cash to invest into their deal for them. Wouldn't it be great if you could actually buy or acquire property without using any money at all? Something I've been doing for nearly 30 years and have probably perfected. So this strategy enables you to move into property without the need of having to borrow money or to save up deposits.
How many of you would like to have this deal? Is that all?
Only about half. About half the people. Maybe it's too good to be true.
Well, let's show them some more money. Come on.
Okay, let's have a look at numbers.
They may change their mind.
Well, this was another Bob actually. He's a reluctant landlord, and Bob wanted full price for this property. He's refusing to take an offer. Been on the market for 9 months. Nobody wanted to pay him full price, and there were tenants in the property. He was a reluctant landlord, didn't really want to own the property, didn't really want the tenants, but what he did want was his £15,000 equity out of the property. Nobody was offering him that until we came along, and we said, okay, we'll give you the £15,000. In other words, we'll pay you full price, on the understanding that you give us some flexibility around how we deliver the money to you in terms of the timescale. So if we can deliver you the £15,000 that you want, will you allow us some time to do it? He didn't need the £15,000 straight away. As long as he gets it, he didn't really mind how long he waited. So we controlled the property using a single document. Didn't cost us any money. Mesud sold it on an instalment contract.
Absolutely zero cost. We just agreed on completion. When our buyer completes, Bob, you're going to get £15,000. Is that okay? He said, fantastic. Take the keys, sell it. He said, how long roughly is it going to take for them to cash out? I said, Bob, you can take between 3 to 5 years, 7 years maximum. He said, absolutely fine. I don't need the money today. I started marketing the property. Again, I put it on my favourite Rightmove account. I just put the property on, £5,000 up front, moves it in, no mortgage required. Property needs a little bit of decoration and nice 2-bedroom, semi-detached house, no mortgage required. First come, first served. Okay. We had a call again very quickly in the afternoon from a lady. She was a nurse. She said, well, I'm living in central London. I'm renting a council house at the moment. I've got quite a nice income, but I've been in the country only for the last 4 years. So she said, I don't think I qualify for mortgage, but I've got the deposit you require. Can I have a look at the property? So when would you like to see us? She said 6 o'clock this evening. Is that all right? I met her in the office 6 o'clock. I went through the papers. I checked her income. Everything looks brilliant. She said, well, can we go and see the house? I said, okay, let's go and have a look. We went to see the house. She said, nice house. It needs a little bit of painting. I said, yes. He said, that's why we're asking only £5,000 deposit. So the rest of the money you can spend on doing it up. He said, great, okay. And she loved the fact that we asked only for £5,000 deposit. She had £11,000 as a deposit. We could have taken all the deposit, but allowed the lady to spend the rest of the money on painting the house, changing the carpet, maybe change the kitchen. So she loved that idea. We moved her in. After 28 days, we took £5,000 deposit there and then. This property has got massive cash flow, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, remember, we promised to pay the seller the full market value. It's never about the price. If you get favourable terms, it's more powerful than the price. I'm happy to pay him the full market value if I'm making £480 cash flow, wouldn't you? So we didn't care about the price, as long as we pay it down the line. And remember, the £15,000, think of it as an interest-free loan for 7 years. Isn't that great? So we just agreed favourable terms. That's why we're getting £480 cash. Over a 5-year period, £28,800 cash though. Also, £37,000 back-end profit. We're going to pay 15 to Bob, and we've got £22,000 left as a back-end profit at the end. A deal that we spent no money.
How much we make it on this?
Look at that, 55,800. How many of you would like that?
Oh, a few more then.
Okay, I want everyone's hands up on the last one, okay? You promise?
Let's babysit. We're actually recording this presentation right now, and if you would like a free recording of this, please just enter your details on this slip of paper that's being handed around as we speak. Please print clearly your email address and your telephone number, and we'll gladly send you a free recording of this presentation so that you can revisit it and pick up some more notes at your leisure. Okay, so Mesud, what's a lemon?
Oh, lemon is a fruit. No, it's not. It's a property that you don't want to own, okay? Let's say you bought a property in 2007, 2008 at the height of the market, when all Leeds Town Centre was built and all the prices were inflated. You bought yourself nice new bedroom flats. All of a sudden, the market crashed, and now you've got negative equity properties. Also, it could be because, yeah, basically the debt on the property, the mortgage outstanding is less than the value.
Does it look a bit like that?
Yes.
Explain that for me, please.
Just suppose this was a £100,000 house, and the mortgage on it was £110,000 house. So if you had to sell this house today, you had to contribute £10,000 from your own pocket. Here we go, Mr. Bank, £10,000, and now you sold the house at a loss. So, it could be also, a lemon could be where the rental income is less than the monthly outgoings. Let's say, because you could have highly cost, the service charges, maintenance, ground rent, or just simply an expensive mortgage on a fixed rate. It looks a bit like that. Just suppose you had a 2-bedroom flat, rent £525, you got a mortgage, service charge, ground rent totaling £645. This property is costing you £120 every month. Every single month it's costing you £120. That's a lemon.
How would that make you feel?
Well, a bit like that.
But like you've been served up a lemon, actually you don't know what to do with it, do you? You go out for a steak and they put a lemon in front of you and think, what am I supposed to do with this?
Do you sell it? Do you keep subsidizing it? What do? Do you keep losing money?
You drain your pockets.
Eventually you're going to end up with no money.
Has anybody got a lemon? I know in Leeds city centre there's loads of lemons. I know there are lots and lots and lots of them.
Nobody owns a flat in Leeds city centre?
Overdeveloped by greedy developers. Back in the mid-2000s, every city centre was overdeveloped. Every bay, every riverside, anything by the water, overdeveloped by greedy developers, sold over value and purchased by a lot of investors for no money down. In fact, a lot of investors actually got cashbacks on a lot of these deals. Anybody in the room relate to that? I certainly do.
Tell us your story then.
Well, this is a property that I purchased in Manchester city centre on the canal. Lovely, lovely location. In fact, it was such a good deal, I bought 2. I didn't see them, I just bought them off plan. And it was such a good deal that they gave me £12,000 cash back on each property.